Welcome to episode 16 of Motormouth. Here's your host, Brendan Kelly.
Hello everybody, and thank you for joining us on Motormouth for your weekly dose of Eastern Cape motorsport news. My name is Brendan Kelly. In Pretoria, Paul Bedford is doing final mix, and our renowned producer in Port Alfred is none other than Daryl Cookard. We are currently battling with internet issues, so apologies in advance for the poor picture quality, as I'm now running on cell phone data, so hopefully it will last for the duration of the show. Massive thank you once again must go out to our main sponsors, Emerald Fire and Fifth Color Branding, for their continued support of our show. Thank you as well to everyone for their comments and questions that are sent in during the show. Please share it on your Facebook pages, and please keep the questions coming. I follow the show on the Up to 60 Seconds Facebook page, so pick up all questions and comments from there. Great news now, the show is also going out live on YouTube as well. As many of you know, we've been following Dominic Doyle, alias the Dominator's progress in America. This past weekend, he was racing in New Jersey, and he had a mixed bag of results, finishing 9th in race 1 in the Junior Cup class after being penalized for a jump start, and then suffered mechanical failure in race 2. Just check out the save from Dominic, getting it wrong in early morning practice, but managing to keep it upright. Just watch the marshals in the background. Check out their reaction once he managed to keep it going there. Just have another look at that. But while we go in there, we said he had a jump start penalty in race 1, finished 9th, and then mechanical failure caused a DNF, so unfortunately not finishing race 2. He then also took part in the Twins Cup on board a Suzuki SV650, where he got a very impressive 4th place in race number 1 and a 3rd in race number 2. So brilliant stuff there from the Dominator as he continues to oppress in the United States of America. A big congratulations to Border Kart Club. They held their first COVID race this past weekend with just on 50 entries taking part across 7 different classes. Well done to the organizers as well as all of the competitors on yet another successful event. We'll hopefully get those results and that all through to you for the next episode. Algoa Motorsport Club are having the next round of their regional championships this weekend at Aldos Grabante Raceway. And the good news is the biking fraternity will be making a welcome return to racing at last. Hopefully the president will also have some good news for us later this evening, and that the COVID restrictions will be eased up a little bit just to make the whole racing day experience a little bit more pleasant. On to tonight's show, our first guest. It's a very warm welcome to Sean Hurly from East London.
Hi, good evening, Brendan.
Good evening, Sean. Thank you for joining us. You, a man with over 20 years of passion for Lotus 7s. Where did it all start with the Lotuses?
I bought a Triumph Spitfire many years ago and paid 200 Rand for it and built this car, and it was so disappointing. And I knew a pilot at that stage, and he said to me, "You want to buy a proper car, buy a Lotus 7. It can beat a Porsche." Well, that started the passion for Lotuses, which stands for lots of trouble, usually serious, if you didn't know.
Well, it certainly didn't look like trouble on the weekend. You were in the caterham then, but the car ran like it was on rails during the modified saloon heats.
Yeah, the car surprised me. I've just built the car. Just built it. Took 8 years to build the car. And the handling was fantastic. I couldn't believe how well the car went. Unfortunately, later on in the day, the driver made some stupid mistakes, but it was a good day.
Great stuff. As we said, you've had a 20-year love affair with Lotuses, as well as some overseas experience. Talk us through that.
So at the age of 40, I started racing. And raced in the Lotus Challenge up in Joburg for 8 years before deciding to move down to East London. A group of us decided to go and we wanted to do a 24-hour endurance race. So we couldn't afford to do Le Mans. So what we set ourselves up to was do the Fun Cup. And we did a 6-hour race at Croft in the UK. And then we went across to Spa and Belgium. Race, which was 162 cars on the grid, an amazing amount of fun. So yes, that happened in 2008, and I really haven't done too much racing in the last 6 or 7 years, Brandon. So Saturday was great fun for me.
What prompted the return to racing? You just got more time on your hands now, or how's that come about?
Well, I stopped racing for 2 years, and my wife said to me, "I think you should go racing again." So that tells you what happens. Have a great wife.
Brilliant. I see the first of our guests joining us, Wayne Barkhuizen clocking in, and then great to have Darren Gudmanz joining us as well. He's obviously going to be checking up on his lighty a little bit later on in the show. Brent Barnard also joining us, a regular on the show. So good evening to you guys. Thanks for joining us. Please feel free, please remember to share it across your Facebook pages. One of the things I noticed in East London, not so much with the modified racing, but the endurance cars, the more powerful cars, the exit from the pit lane onto the main straight in East London, a couple of guys getting it completely wrong and spinning off the track, just spinning it and going off the track. Is it it is a bit bumpy there, but is there an art to leaving the pits cleanly?
Don't put your foot down too hard too soon. I had the same experience. I thought
cold tires.
Yeah. Not that so much. It's just that bumpy, and it unsettles the car.
Yeah, I know. I saw the two. I think both of the Toys R Us Porsches, but both spinning off, and there's quite a dip on the left hand side of the track once they've gone there, and some damage to the front of both of the Porsches when they exited there. Then I just took note then from there, watching the cars exiting the pits, and hadn't realized that it was so bumpy there. And I mean, especially in a low car like either a Lotus or a Caterham, you must feel it there.
Very much so. Yeah. The cams I've got in the car are quite hot, so I can't idle at 3,000 RPM. So generally I'm trying to get the revs up as quickly as possible. So yeah, not an easy exit.
Okay. And then after your successful day in the modified classes, then you took part. We saw the pictures running with a lot of the backdraft Cobras. You raced in the 1 hour, the sprint race in the South African Endurance Series. So talk us through how that went.
I was worried about my fitness, and on the Friday there'd been so much wind, I thought I wasn't going to cope. So I did 3 laps qualifying, and I was 20th on the grid. And once I started racing, the Lotus 7 loves racing against bigger cars, especially Porsches and Cobras. So unfortunately, the red mist came out and those little horns. And I'd said to my pit crew, no, I'm just going to cruise around and get used to the car and get into a rhythm. Well, that didn't happen. Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great racing against those guys.
And the body on the Sunday morning, feel it a bit? Or?
The wind hadn't been too bad on the Saturday, so it wasn't as heavy on the neck as I expected. The Friday was terrible. It was really very physical on the head.
What's up next for you? When do you go racing again?
Well, I think the 3rd of October, but I really want to get the car ready for the PE3R and then the Border 100, the endurance, where you don't have to be so fast. I'm too old to be fast, Brendan, so I'd rather try and be a bit slower and drive longer.
And for those events, will you be sharing the car with somebody for the endurance races?
For the Border, no, I'll do it on my own. And then the PE3R, I'll share with a guy I've raced. We've done it 5 times before, and we've won it 4 times. So Norman Witt from Joburg will share the drive with me.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. So we look forward to following your progress quite closely now that we've got to know you better. Sean Hurly, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on Motormouth, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and we'll keep an eye out for that super, super quick little Caterham of yours.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Cheers. Right, folks, we're going to cut to an advert break, and then joining us after the break, we'll be joined by 2 guys that provided us with some huge entertainment during the historic race in East London. So please feel free to get your questions ready for Danian, Staffen, and Matthew Gudmanz. Best Drive Treads Tyres East London, your complete one-stop car shop. Visit us for great deals on Continental and General tyres, as well as many other brands. For professional and friendly service, call us on 043 743 7564 or find us on Facebook at Treads Tyres. Treads Tyres is a proud sponsor of Eastern Cape Motorsport. Right, it's a very good evening to Danian Staffen and Matthew Gudmanz. As we said, two of the racers in the historic class. Good evening, gentlemen.
How's it going?
All good, thanks. Danian, we're going to kick off with you. The historic class has certainly turned out to be a battle of the Capris. Tell us about how. Surely East London must have the biggest number of Capris running in the country at the moment.
Yeah, we seem to breed them. Actually, yeah, a couple of years ago, I actually said to myself, one day I want to build a Capri and come and race. And yeah, the next thing I know, finished building the car after 8 years and get onto the circuit, and now all the Capris started coming out of the woodwork. And I mean, yeah, you got to compete with some seriously quick cars. So yeah, we seem to breed them down here.
It's great. I just love going to watch historic racing. I mean, as I always say during my commentary sessions, the proper race cars from yesteryear. Just look at that lineup there, absolutely beautiful. And a massive thank you to Peter Taylor for the pictures. Matthew, over to you. You haven't had too much seat time in your Capri. You guys have had a bit of a shuffle of the cars in Gudmanz Racing. Tell us about your experiences out there last race day.
So this season would have been my first season racing the car. I had one practice last year, the Board 100. That was the first time that I drove the car. This time last year, I would have been excited just to start it, if that puts it into perspective. To be able to drive it this season was such an amazing prospect for me. But unfortunately, COVID got the best of all of us and decided that this season was going to be one hell of a stuff up. So we're here. This was the second race of the season, and just getting comfortable in the car. And my dad is now driving the Can-Am. It's been out of commission for a while. It's been developed for a while, and it's still as wild as anything. Goes like the clappers down the straight, but it's a beast to handle. So he'll be up there within the next two races. I think he'll have it working properly.
So what I really enjoyed about seeing you and your dad out on the track was, when the pupil becomes the teacher in the end, and you were certainly showing your dad the right lines around the track there. Your dad's probably going to hate me for this. I see Kristen Gudmanz has joined us as well as Ivor Wakefield and Debbie Bartle as well. And Alec Wilford as well. So welcome to the show, guys. So obviously it was team tactics, but it must have been an absolute honor a lack of feeling to give your old man a lacquer clap like that.
Yeah, no, look, it's not really a fair fight at this point in time. We've got a lot more work to do on his car. I unfortunately inherited a immaculately set up motor vehicle. Danian and Dad ran 28s in both of their cars last season. I'm still getting there. I've still got a lot to learn. So even though he was following me, I'm still following him. It's still got a long way to go and a lot to learn. Getting there.
Back to you, Danian. You said that car, a labor of love. 7 years building the car. What have you got under the bonnet? Is it a genuine Piranha? Is it built to full spec?
No, actually, what it is, it started out as a 1969 1600 GT that we found lying next to a swimming pool in Vincent Park in East London. And we actually built the car with the intention of it being a road car. And then, true story, years ago, my Opa and I, we built a GT40 replica, and it had a built motor lying in the back of the garage. It wasn't getting used. So one day, the old man was in town, and I was around. So I decided, well, let's see if it fits. And well, that's what it's landed up in the Capri. We built it. It's a 302 Windsor. Actually a 289 block, believe it or not. And so yeah, still running cast iron heads, pump gas. It's nothing fancy. I say borrowed in inverted commas motor. He still wants it back.
And what's your best lap time around the Grand Prix circuit so far in the car?
It was last season. Yeah, we did a 28.6 on tires that were. Look, honestly, new tires are ridiculously expensive. Matt will tell you straight. I mean, those things are ridiculously expensive. So, yeah, I had a good set of second hands from Mr. Larry Wolford, and yeah, we did a 28.6, and yeah, the car actually, even on our last race day, as the day goes on, it gets quicker and quicker, and it's actually quite weird. But it's done a 28.6, and it's quite consistent. In terms of being quicker and getting quicker as the race goes on.
Yeah, that's one thing I did see, during the race. Once you had managed to get ahead of Matthew, you opened up a bit of a gap there. Matthew, your quickest time also in the 28s?
No, not yet.
Okay.
My quickest time, I time matched it. It was a 32.5, the last race, but that was with a flat wheel. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, we had a slow puncture on the right rear, and that's why I was blocking Danian sideways through Potters. So yeah, that was
The smoke was crazy coming
from the back. The second last lap of the last race, that was my best time. So yeah.
Oh, great stuff. As I mentioned at the start of our chat, you guys certainly put on a good show there. I'm just trying to think who the third car. It was the Frenza with Darren was there for a while.
Yes.
But once you guys just got in front, it was almost you looked like you were playing with each other at stages. But just fantastic racing all around.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I think
Sorry,
we were
Matthew,
working hard.
We both know where each other are quick. So I know where Danian's quick. Danian knows where I'm quick. So there will be a lot of chopping and changing, passing each other and whatever. But we basically both know where we need to block and where we need to hold our lines. And I know if I don't beat him into Potters in the first lap, I'm stuffed. He's gone. Because if he gets to the complex before me, he's gone. So that's my goal always. Is when the lights go out, I have to beat him to Potters. And then I
like his tactics. I'm hearing this now.
There is some inside information there. But historic racing in East London. I mean, the guys certainly seem to have upped the game there, taken their cars to another level. Maybe the COVID thing has given the guys a chance to really make the cars look spick and span. Because jeepers, I tell you, there are some beautifully restored cars in the historics class. Are there any guys joining? Now that racing is going again, any new guys that will be joining?
We should be getting a few coming towards the end of the season. Especially Border 100 is very popular. So actually the only way we really see is on race day, because sometimes they enter and then they just don't make it. But Border 100 has always been popular, and I think that's going to be the highlight of the season for sure. A lot of people will be joining then.
Did either of you perhaps chat to Andrew Kasagan? Because after the race had finished, I saw him going off in the S's, and the car almost looked like he had rolled at one stage. I saw the car was virtually on its side. I mean, had either of you spoken to him about it? Any idea what happened there?
Yes, I did. As far as I could gather, he wanted to do some donuts, and yeah, it didn't end well for him.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that. So Andrew, if you're watching it, there was no way I was having a go at you. I see Desiree Gudmanz joining us as well. So good evening to her and to Kaylee Dreyer as well. Matt, obviously a supporter of yours there. Go Matt. So great stuff. We got a whole lot of new people joining us. Brilliant stuff. Guys, that's about just about a wrap for our chat. Anything else from your side, Matthew? As I said, the historics looking good. What's the Datsun, the Datsun Triple S from Gudmanz Racing? Where is that at the moment?
Yeah, so that's actually with Ryan, Alex's son. They have it up in Queenstown, and they're busy working on it, prepping for when he's eligible to race on the main circuit. He was actually racing this weekend with the first karts race. So he's going to come kick all of our asses because he's going to have way more practice than any of us. Yeah, he can pedal. So yeah.
And then Alex in race 2, I saw he got a DNF down in Beacon. Something went wrong there. Any idea what happened? That car stopped?
Yeah, the gearbox gave up there.
Okay.
He lost all of the gears. So yeah, I had to park it.
That didn't sound good after that,
eh? I'm sure. And then Danian, next race, when do the historics hit the circuit again?
We are actually racing now, coming up on the 3rd October, and yeah, I hope we have a good field. I actually looked on our historic chat today, and I see a lot of people are saying in. So yeah, we obviously still no spectators and things like that, as far as we can see so far.
Hopefully that'll change tonight.
Yes, we all do. We all do. Yes. I can't wait to do it again with Matthew.
You certainly put on a great show. It was fantastic to watch, and fantastic to be able to commentate with those big bangers screaming around the absolute classic Grand Prix circuit. Guys, it's been absolute pleasure. Thanks once again to Peter Taylor for the fantastic pictures that we've had during the chat. And we wish both of you all of the very best for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for joining us on Motormouth.
Thanks.
Right, we're going to go for another quick advert break. And then after the break, we'll have our next guest. And it is young up-and-coming motorbike racer, Oliver McKay. With over 60 years of financial planning experience, Skybridge Capital has sound solutions for your financial needs. Our client commitment and unbiased approach enables us to build tailored investment portfolios for the individual and their changing circumstances. We specialize in retirement and estate planning, wills and deceased estates, as well as local and offshore investment planning. Right, mustn't forget to unmute myself after the advert break. As we said, we're going to be joined by Oliver McKay. A very good evening to you, Oliver.
Good evening, Brendan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good. Thanks, man. Welcome to Motormouth. I realize that you've been out at Aldo Escribante Circuit this afternoon or today, practicing for this weekend. You surely must be itching to get back into race mode again.
Yeah, it was extremely great day today. So excited to be back on the bike and back in action. Can't complain.
You've got a couple of years of racing under your belt now. Where did it all start? Tell us where it began for you.
It started off at the short circuit in PE, the Goa kart track. Went there one day wanting to race actually go-karts, and we arrived at the track and we were told by the seal or by people that you have to have your own go-kart. And the same day, the NSF development riders were all there, and that's when we met Lucille and Glenn Elliott. And they threw me on a NSF 100cc, and since then, I've just been hooked since 2018.
Great stuff. But then I've seen your name pop up in drag racing results as well. Tell us a bit about this.
So we started doing the drag racing because it really helped me with my starts, especially for all my races, because starts are one of the most important is the most important element of the race. Yeah. So we just started doing the drag racing. That really helped me improve my starts, which really helps.
Brilliant stuff. And your ultimate dream is to go to MotoGP. And I see you've had some training sessions up at, well, I think I saw photographs up at Red Star with the Binder brothers. So tell us a bit about that experience.
Wow, that was fantastic. I had a really great weekend up at Red Star. I learned a lot. I got a lot of good feedback from them. And it was just, it was a really great week, meeting a lot of riders, because not from Joburg. So I really made a lot of friends and friendships. So it was a great week.
But between the two brothers, which one would you say is the more approachable, Darren or Brad?
I'll say Brad. Brad's very
Brad,
nice.
Okay. Yeah, the good news coming through today that Darren has signed a one-year deal with the Petronas team for next year in MotoGP 3. So at least he's got a seriously decent ride for next year confirmed.
Yeah. Very exciting.
Right, back to your practice day. Your personal best lap time around Scribante. Where do you go at the moment?
Well, we're slowly doing a lot to the bike, but so far my quickest lap is a 1:83, and I don't know if I think that was still standard suspension. We've just put in Ohlins now, and slowly but surely doing up the bike, so very excited to see the times drop, hopefully.
I got a message coming through here from Kirsten Diener saying that Ethan is looking forward to racing with you on Saturday. So obviously, lots of people anticipating some good racing this Saturday at Aldo Scribante Raceway. You've participated at events all around the country. What would you rate your favorite track?
Well, I haven't ridden at on all the tracks yet, but probably my favorite track so far is Red Star. I really do enjoy it. Very technical, which I really like, that aspect of racing as well. Right,
we cross into this is live footage from race 2 earlier in the year. When we cross over the start finish line, talk us through a lap around Aldo Scribante Raceway.
This was the last race I had actually with the Monaco series. This was the second heat. I had a extremely good start. It was a really nice day at the track. I was leading quite a few people. It was very exciting, and I held my position for the whole race down to the last 3 laps, and I lost it going down the straight into the first right corner. That's when I was running with standard suspension, and we decided, okay, it's time to upgrade. It was a very tough race, trying to lead these people. So I learned quite a lot as well, the pressure and not freaking out, and just learning. It's very nice.
Obviously, your dream to get to MotoGP. What sponsors do you have on board at this stage?
So far, we are working with Indubi. We're working with them, but we haven't had any sponsors so far. But we're getting there, working on that. Just finished my CV, and Have
you had a look at the entry list for this weekend? Who are you up against?
I think I'm going to have quite a fight with Gregan. He's also riding a Kawasaki Ninja 400 really fast. But I think we're going to have a nice dice. If not, I'm sure I'll find someone to hang on to.
Yeah, I see Chad Billsbury making a welcome return after his injuries last season. So it's going to be great to have Chad Billsbury out on circuit again as well.
Yeah, that's going to be really nice to have him back. He's extremely well ridden, really good rider, and yeah, it's always nice having him around there.
Great stuff. Talk us through your schooling. You've decided to chuck the conventional schooling away and homeschooling now. How are you handling that?
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, very very quickly. But handling it pretty well. Just I wasn't able to keep up with schoolwork and with the sport and with racing and traveling. It was just getting too much. So we decided just try online schooling, see if I like it. Especially with all the traveling, it's just I wasn't able to keep up with school. I was falling behind quite a bit. So now having this opportunity to do homeschooling, I think it will be a lot easier and just a lot of pressure taken off.
When you say falling, better to be falling behind with the schoolwork than falling at the track.
Yeah.
Have you had any injuries so far?
I've had a few crashes, but so far no injuries. So I'm very lucky. I like to keep it like that.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. All right, we're going to start wrapping it there. Oliver, it's been absolutely fantastic having you on the show, and we'll certainly see you out at Scribante on Saturday. Best of luck out there. And any final word to any of the guys that you're going to be racing against this weekend?
I'm just looking forward to see everyone there at the track, and yeah, very excited to be out there.
Great stuff. We're sure you'll have a good day and make your sponsors proud. So best of luck to Oliver McKay. We'll see you out at Scribante on Saturday. We're going to go for another quick advert break. And then after the break, we're going to have a look at some near misses from the recent Bigfoot 700 up in East London. East Port, tasty takeaways in Port Alfred. Prana Car Wash is a new waterless concept in cleaning cars. You can give either Bavi or Matthew a call for prompt service. Their numbers are on the flyer that is on the screen. And these guys are mobile, so they'll clean your car wherever it is convenient for you to have it done. Prana Eco Wash, a new concept in car cleaning. Right, folks, just spare a thought for our cameramen. You know, these guys are often in precarious positions around the circuit. During the Bigfoot 700, we were part of the live footage from the race day in horrendous conditions late afternoon. The rain came down. So let's see what Adrian James was up to as he did his best to get the best shot, but also needing to think on his feet and take evasive action if necessary with these wild cobras sliding at him through the wet grass. Here's, I think it's Sean Gradwell going for a little drive around is it RJ Green or Sean? We'll check the helmet when they go past. They're going for a little trip down the go-kart circuit right past our cameraman. Somebody going through the grass onto the kart circuit. We'll wait for some of them coming through sideways. So the guy's really getting it wrong. That's Rechard Roots going through there. He went down that route more than once. Reggie certainly using all of his inflatable powerboating skills in the wet conditions, but just getting it wrong more than once. There's another one making an exit out of Cochabana onto the kart circuit. Luckily, an easy run off there. So you must realize Adrian James is right there. And then the Chevron B26, Franco Scribante, also getting it wrong there. We missed that one during the live commentary. It's the first time I've seen that one happening. So even the very best getting it wrong in incredibly tricky conditions. So this, as I say, this is Adrian James. This one particularly close. When it starts going sideways towards him, you've got to be alert at all times. As you say, try and get the best shot, but you're going to have to be ready to take evasive action at any time. Just look at all the debris lying on the kart circuit. More pieces of carbon fiber going to be left lying on the track there. So some fantastic footage there from Adrian James. So spare a thought for our cameramen when they're out there. Folks, that's about a wrap from us for the show. The Motormouth crew are off to Red Star Raceway this coming weekend. Unfortunately, I won't be going along. I've got commentary duties out at Aldo Scribante for the regional race day. But there will be live streaming from the Historics and Inland Series, and all the live action can be viewed on the following URL that is now on screen, www.facebook.com, up to 60 seconds live, /live. So all of the action will be live. So please be sure to tune in there. And a reminder to please share the show across all of your social media platforms, as the show is about you, the racers out there. It's a platform for you not only to promote yourself, but your sponsors as well. Once again, a big thank you to everybody that's watching. I see Dot Kelly, my dear mother up in Natal, has joined the show as well. So good evening, Mom. Nice to see you tuning in on the show, and say hello to the rest of the family up there. So great to have my mother join in. Folks, from me, Brendan Kelly, it's goodbye. Once again, I'm going to forget to once again thank our sponsors, Emerald Fire and Fifth Color Branding, for their continued support for the show. So from me, Brendan Kelly, it's goodbye until next time.